I have done the same thing over and over again, and I've always felt invisible. And because I lost my job, I don't have a lot of money. How would I reset? How would I move through the process? What would you tell that person today? Hey now, how is everybody doing? Welcome to Red Alert Diaries with Tanya E. Hood. I'm glad I get the chance to see you today, and I have a special guest that's going to be joining us, Miss Yolanda Taylor. Hey, Yolanda,
Hey,
how you doing? Glad you're
I-
here.
thank you. Thank you for having me.
Awesome. And now, before we begin, I have got to introduce you to everybody. Now, for those of you that have not yet had the opportunity to meet her, Miss Yolanda Taylor, I'm going to call her Yo moving forward, is the CEO and wardrobe stylist behind At the Style Table LLC. As a best-selling author, speaker, and host of At the Style Table Show and My Style Mondays. Yo inspires women to step into their next chapters with style and intention. She has been seen on NBC's The Today Show, WUSA Channel 9, The Great Day, and several others as well, where she continues to redefine their style and helping women look and feel fabulous at every age. Yo, thank you so much for being here. Would you like to share anything else with yourself with our audience today?
Hello, everyone. Thank you, Tanya, so much for allowing me to share my story and a little bit about me on your show today. I'm really honored to be here and share with your guests any tips or just talk about real life and how style affects our daily lives and how style is an essential part of our self-care.
Thank you for that. So tell us a little bit more because there's something about you that brought you into this space where you decided you got to help people get themselves a little bit more. Tell us a little bit more about what inspired you to reset and come into this space now.
Well, what inspired me to reset is following my passion. I've always helped women by motivating them, reminding them that they're beautiful, reminding them that they are special. And I enjoy that because I needed that in my own life. I like to share things with women that I wanted to hear and needed to hear. Also, COVID happened, frankly, and it pushed me from being a flight attendant for 31 years into what am I going to do now? And I realized I need to do what I've always been doing, and that's being of service to others and especially women. I love women. I love being around women. I enjoy the positive energy that comes with the good communication that women share. And just we understand how to take care, we take care of everybody else. And I want to provide a service that takes care of them because who's taking care of us? So I want to be one of those people.
Let's talk about that a little bit because coming from the service industry, being a flight attendant, that's a very long time. And moving into your passion because there's several individuals now that are going through career transitions as their moments to reset. Yo, that teenager that felt awkward, felt invisible. She needed the version of you that grew into that space. Somebody right now needs to know that you have the compassion for them to move out of that space because they may not be a teenager, but they're still working on a budget. They may not be the individual that could try to figure out how to move up in their career, but a blazer or a scarf or a what piece would you say to them to inspire them, to encourage them that, yeah, you may feel like you're invisible now, but this right here.
What I would tell that person today is use this time for you. You don't have the money or the time, but you don't have the money right now. So what I'm going to do is help you maximize the money that you already have invested in the closet that you have. Take this time to just put everything else aside that you've been stressed out about and use this time to pour into you. Let's go into that closet and reimagine what you already have and build a new you with what you already have in your closet. You can do this because everything that's in your closet you've already purchased. So these are things that you love. So we will go in there and look through everything that you have and start building something new that will align with your new future self. I would tell that self, that woman, to create a style mood board, because when you look good, you feel good. And in order to make that next step, you want to feel good. You have to look at yourself and feel like a winner and know that you're a winner. And you can do that through clothing. You can do that through your style. Reclaim that woman, reclaim that style star, reclaim that person who was that loyal employee, that superstar who just lost their job. It doesn't mean it's over. It just means you have to begin a new chapter. And let's create what you have in your closet already so you can protect your money, because you have money in that closet. So let's protect the investment that you already have. Recreate and build. Build, baby, build from what you already have. And we will make sure that that wardrobe aligns with your next chapter.
I love that because a lot of us don't often think about our wardrobe being an investment. Too many times, some people, and I'm one of those people, thinking about clothes is not something I've always considered as a grand thing. But when you make the statement, investment, oh, that resets my mind. That resets my thoughts. Let's expand on that. If there's an individual, like I once was, coming out of the hills of a divorce, trying to figure out how to do this again with two kids in tow, I no longer knew who I was at the end of that relationship. What would you say to that? That was then the 32-year-old Tanya trying to figure it out. What would you say to her? Because she had the clothes, and now that hearing you saying it's investment, but her clothes were boring. All I had was the basic blue, brown, and gray because it was a corporate America color. It was a thing that I do. I had my white shirt, I had my blue shoes, and my black shoes. That was about it. What would you tell me to get my mojo back, my confidence, my reset moment?
Well, again, the first thing, there's always a first step. And the first step is to start thinking about where you want to go next. Do you want to continue trying to look for another corporate job? Or do you want to start a business? Or do you want to work in the nonprofit space? What do you want to do? And that's the first place you go. So when you're shopping and when you're thinking about picking up new things, you'll do it with intention. So again, you are protecting your money because you're shopping with intention and purpose. Also, start looking at those clothes that you have. There are certain pieces that you can take that you can reimagine in a way that's more upbeat. You can change that suit jacket and add a pair of print pants, or something that's more creative that speaks to who you are as an individual and inspires you. Everything that you purchase is not only intentional, but it should be inspirational. When you walk out the door, you want to feel like you're inspired. You want to feel like, yes, I'm going to nail this interview. Yes, I'm going to go out and get this client. I'm going to start creating my next life. and I'm going to look like you want to look like you're already there. You want to look like the other side of success, especially if you're starting a business or if you decide I'm going to go into coaching. You need to look like the other side of success. So you need to look happy. So when you're purchasing things, you can take certain pieces and add something fun and interesting to those pieces without giving everything away, without throwing out things. You can get things, you can go to an alterations department section at your dry cleaner. You don't have to spend a bunch of money on expensive tailors. I recommend tailors, but there are some very good alterations and seamstress and tailors in the dry cleaners that you can go and have things reimagined. So you can utilize those pieces. Also, accessories. You can go to some fun consignment shops and purchase something just interesting and fun. I found lots of things like this necklace. I found it. It was fun. It works. I love it. It's one of my favorite pieces. So I didn't spend a fortune on it, but it adds something special to some of the things that I have that are basic, that are wardrobe capsule type pieces, your basic suit pieces, suits and separates. You can add things that make it interesting, make it fun, and change it up without spending a lot of money. I am an environmentalist, so I would suggest that you go to a consignment shop. I love consignment shops because most of them are owned by women. So you're supporting women-owned businesses as well. You can take your clothes, some of those suits or suit pieces, and some of those clothes that you call boring. Maybe you can take it to some of those consignment shops and they'll take it and set you up an account. So then you can buy something else out of the store with that account you set up. So you're keeping that garment in the relove system and out of a landfill, and also putting some more money that you can reinvest in your own wardrobe for your next chapter. Everything that I talk about doing is with your wardrobe is about your next chapter.
Let's unpack that because you have shared a lot of information, and thank you so much for that. Because this also goes to the fact that you have a powerful testimony. Because after 14 years as a single mom, you reimagined for your next chapter. Is this part of how you walk through that expansion? Can you share a little bit more?
Yeah, well, I understand when you said you were 32, single mom. I remember buying my first house at 31. I was a single mom on a flight attendant salary. And I'm like, ooh, our incomes go down 25% compared to the male, to men. And it was a challenge. It was scary, but I did it. So I had to learn how to shop on a shoestring budget because our kids like Jordans and they want all the things. Okay. All the things. And as a single mother, there's a certain level, especially as a flight attendant, I felt a certain level of guilt of being away. So I wanted to give him more things. So I had to learn how to take all my Mother's Day gift cards that I got from friends and family and make it work. And nobody could work a TJ Maxx clearance rack like me. And I just learned how to put things together on a shoestring budget. I always kind of knew how to do that because I started shopping and investing in clothing when I was 17 years old. So I had an allowance and a little job here and there that I could take that money and take that this is probably before your time, that Paul Harris skirt and take that casual corner jacket. And if I had a little extra, I could get that funky belt from merry-go-round. It was like I had to make it work, of course, with my cheap Baker shoes um, at that time. But I had to learn how to make it work, and I would put it together, and it would look great. It would look, you can look like you've spent a lot of money without spending a lot of money, and buy quality. Buy quality. Just because the dress is inexpensive and it's a bright shiny thing doesn't mean that it's good quality and a good investment. My mother used to always say, you spend $10 on a dress, it'll last you 1 year. You spend $100 on a dress, it'll last you 10. That was always my rule of thumb. My mother was a seamstress and a tailor, so she knew quality and she stressed quality. She taught me that. So I learned how to hunt for things and look for things that were high quality. Many of those suits and things that you have probably are good quality. Take those skirts, have them altered, have them tailored to where they are updated. If you have a midi skirt that you want shortened, do that and wear some over the knee boots with them. Will give it a more youthful look.
Let's walk into some of that because you shared a little bit earlier, a couple of things we got to still unpack. You spoke about a wardrobe capsule. What does that mean?
That means just your basic core pieces. That's what it is. I think every woman should have a crisp white shirt, a black midi skirt, a few silk blouses, leggings, just core pieces, a beautiful pair of tailored trousers, a great fitting pair of jeans, and a leather jacket or a beautifully tailored jacket. From that, you can do a lot. You can add a beautiful dress and have the tailored jacket over it. You can take that crisp white shirt and wear it with the jeans. You can wear that crisp white shirt with anything, with a full length formal skirt. I mean, you can do a lot with that. So these are just basic pieces that you can utilize. That's what I mean by capsule. They're
Thank
interchangeable and you'll get a lot of bang for your buck. Then it's accessories, 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 accessories.
Let's talk about that. And thank you for sharing that insight because you have also been called the reimagineer. So, hearing how you've gone in, created this amazing style, gave us a thought process now about some of the basics that we could use to mix and match. But one other piece that I heard in your voice that I don't think a lot of us think about when we consider fashion. You use those clothes to give you a different concept about yourself. Because coming in an environment where you were like, okay, I have been away and do the mom things. You used the clothes as a tool to soothe for your son. But earlier on, when you were starting off your fashion world, and I see now your mama gave you that as the seamstress. So in your fashion world, when you were starting it off, expanding on who you are, pulling out the pieces that that teenage girl did, you used the clothes as a space to help you create the next chapter of who you are. And you were sharing that. Expand a little bit more for those individuals that never thought about clothes as an investment, never thought about their next chapter being intentional with what they purchase, visualizing where they're going. Because a lot of us look at one part. If I'm doing the business thing, just do the business thing. But you said be creative. Well, that sounds like it's more personal. So, on resetting who we are personally and professionally, if we can blend those together, we maximize all of ourselves. So, the confidence we have in one area, we can definitely pull into the next. Tell us a little bit more about how you're using clothes to bring out that emotion and get people to the next level.
Well, once you're
The
in,
role that you once played, whether it was a spouse, a professional, or full time parent, that shape your identity. But now, everything's changed. And with that change comes uncertainty. What if this is your opportunity to redefine you, rediscover a newer version of yourself that's built for this moment in time? This is your chance to create that reset moment, the identity that aligns with who you really are and not just who the world expects you to be.
You're in your closet and you're looking at pieces and you want to pull out all of the things that you don't want. I have you create piles. You want to create these piles for yourself. Clothes that you're going to donate, clothes that you're going to sell, clothes that no longer fit you. And some of that helps you get your mind right because clothes have bad energy, bad memories. Sometimes you need to remove that negative energy out of your space. Also, once your closet is where you can see the things that you actually want, so you're only wearing 20%, now you'll start wearing 50 to 70%. It's inspiring. You start to have fun with creating new outfits from what you've already picked out. That's the thing. I watch this transformation with my clients all the time. Busy moms, busy people. They don't have time. I don't know what I'm going to do, but they have all these treasures in their closet. And once you get in there and they start putting things on, putting this one blouse, that printed blouse that you forgot all about, in with a classic skirt, like I mentioned, it gives that skirt a whole new meaning. It gives that pair of pants a whole new meaning. You start putting different pairs of shoes that you hadn't thought about with different pieces that are already in your closet. That's the thing. You have a lot of magic already in your closet. If you've purged everything, you can start this is another thing. You sit in your closet, you sit in your space and look at your closet. And then you start imagining what your next chapter is. How do you want to show up in that next chapter? How do you want to walk in the room and present yourself? Your new self. If you've gone through a divorce, nothing says success like walking into a space feeling like I'm not broken. Walking in that space looking happy. That's the best revenge. Is looking good and feeling good. So that's what style, has your style changed? Has your body changed? And it doesn't matter what size you are. It doesn't matter what size you are. It's about putting on things that fit you well, that are comfortable. I always say PCC. Polished, comfortable, confident. Comfort is stylish. Because if you're not pulling and tugging on your clothes, that's comfort, that's confidence, that's real style. Period.
Period. I love that. And thank you so much for reminding us about the treasures and the fact that our clothes put us back inside of an emotional state with some things. That's why there's some outfits that you have to try to figure out what you're wearing. Thank you
Mm-hmm.
so much for that. And share a little bit more because this is what you do. Expand a little bit more on the services and where people can find you.
Well, my services, I've really condensed my services where I think women can use me the most, where it's my superpower space, and that is dealing with your closet. So the first thing I always suggest is starting out with a closet cleanse. And I can do that virtually or in person. And it's just literally block off some time for yourself. It is really a part of your self-care. And I promise you, you will have a good time. It's a positive experience and you will see the money come out of that closet. because you will shop your closet first. And the next service I provide is personalized shopping, because now we have to build and create on that next, on the things that you remove. Now we want to rebuild and start creating more out of that closet by adding in pieces that align with your next chapter. So I help you shop intentionally.
That is awesome. Thank you so much for that. And you also have a special gift that you have to share with our audience today. Can you tell us more?
It is an ebook just about style, and it's about styling women. This book is, if you're over 50 or even over 40, it's all about creating a look to help you go from unforgettable, from invisible to unforgettable, to really get your style groove back. And it's just an easy how-to motivator to help you step into your next chapter and feel good about it, because no matter what anybody's telling you or however you're feeling, just know that this too shall pass. And if you look good, you feel good. Period. Period. I have no other I mean, it's just that simple. And I've watched the transformation. It's incredible to watch women go from, I have nothing to wear, I don't care, I'm just running here and there, to sending me pictures from their trips, sending me pictures of them turning back into the swans that they always were. You know, I love it when the woman who says, I was always that most fashionable woman, I was always fashionable, I don't know what happened. I just put my foot down on the accelerator, and she drives in back into her position. That's all. I'm like a personal trainer.
I
You know how
love
you hire a
that.
personal you hire a personal trainer to get you jump started. That's what I do. I just help get you jump started. That's what I do. And I love it. It fills my cup, because I've had a lot of women come into my life to help me build and see myself as a businesswoman. I was a flight attendant, and I loved helping women, but I didn't see myself as a businesswoman. So for me, it's like paying it forward. And it's more of a service. And I think in this time and in this space that we're going through now, we need to be of support and service to each other as much as possible.
So agree. And thank you so much. We sure enough need people like you that are empowering individuals to live out their lives. And we can see the passion where you are blending your personal and your professional as you reset for your next chapter in your new season. Thank you so much. So I encourage you now to go to her website at thestyletable.com. There you can get the opportunity to see where she has availability for you to see her services and get the chance to join her on the journey as she expands more on how to help you locate your treasures so that you can move from being invisible to unforgettable. Thank you so much, Yo. Is there any last thoughts that you have for our audience today?
Yes, if you are curious about my services and how I work, I have a free call. I call it the Style Strategy Call. And you can just call me and we can talk. And I'm happy to give you a couple tips about how you can jumpstart your style.
Thank you so much for that. And so for today, if anything that has been shared resonates with you, then it's time to reset. So like, comment, and share this information with others. And before we close out, want to share with you a next level note. Now, for those of you that are just getting a chance to be introduced to the next level notes, well, these are those moments where I share some insight about what I have learned through my life, a principles that has helped me maximize. And Yo has indicated that she wants to participate in this a little bit because having a conversation that we just shared with you all, what comes to mind is a thing that I learned. When you know who you are at the core of your being, you will no longer allow people, places, and things to circumvent you. And now you have someone that has given you insight that what you already have inside, you can take a few pieces on the outside, those hidden treasures, bring them up, put on display your confidence, your skill sets, your abilities. You can take a piece and make it a powerhouse moment to let the world around you know I'm here. I'm in a new season. I'm expanding on this moment. And I'm reminded more of that when I heard God tell me, because I shared, I did not know, but I had to walk through, and I did not have you, Yo, to help me through this process. But God reminded me that I made you, everything about you, because I knew you before you were formed in your mother's womb, and I called you fearfully and wonderfully made. God said that we are wonderfully made, like a fine tailored piece of clothing, unique just for us as we were poured into the world. You want to expand a little bit more on that thought?
Wow. That was beautiful. We are like a fine tailored, individually custom made. We are the light. We are the light. The clothes are just your cloak of happiness. And when you put that cloak of happiness on and you walk into a room, you are the light. And I think you should shine and let your personality shine. Your style is unique to you. And it's okay to be you, and you should be you. And when you have that cloak of happiness, that's the ultimate style right there. There's
Hey, I
no
love that.
there's no better thing to have on. And if you feel like what you have to say matters, but you're shy and you're afraid. I know what it's like to walk in a big conference room and you don't know anybody. But if you feel good in your clothes because you're feeling confident in that part, at least, when you walk in the room, you're the light, and people are always attracted to the light.
That part.
That part. It takes away 50% of the work you have to do in introducing yourself.
I love that. We don't consider that as well, but thank you so much for this. And so make certain that you go and see her. Go to atthestyletable.com so that you can have your complimentary call with Miss Yo. And if you're looking for someone else to join you on the journey, feel free to go to my website, tanyaehood.com. There you can see under the Work With Me tab the various ways that we can work with one another. In the meantime, this is Tanya E. Hood walking in my purpose, and I want you to do the same.